It's just about everybody out there doing me just talking about, my life, my journey here, and, everything that's happened. So if I didn't do what I wanted, when I wanted, or believed in my gut feeling of taking the chance to just even be here, that first choice to be on, the Big Boss show, I wouldn't be sitting here right now on the cover of Mandate. Great. When I first saw the other covers that were given to us as references, I thought that, wow, these people are so hot and sexy. But when you get a concept from somebody or people send you concepts, what I'm actually seeing is better than what those visuals were. And it's such a great feeling to be on the cover of a magazine that is shot so amazing. It's beautiful, it's sexy, it's glamorous. I have a pet right there, which was fun. I think he looks pretty upset. This is amazing. I'm so happy everybody's here. First of all, thank you for everybody coming out today. I love it. I can't wait to actually go and read it. We got here and we haven't had a second yet. Make that sound so bad. He's a beautiful model that I got to work with, and I think he was very comfortable. He didn't feel like my slave at all. But I thought that it's actually, it just seems like I take things my way and I'm in charge, and it just happens to be a guy there. But, I believe that I take charge in everything that I do in life, and that's just symbolic for, what it is, I guess. I was there. You know what, I just got off a plane yesterday night, and I went home, dropped my luggage off, and I went to the success party. And by the time I got there, everybody was well into having lots of fun. But I did get to go there. It just wasn't for the media. Unfortunately, my flight was late. You mean I do what I want? I think that's more in reference of me just taking charge of my life and being able to make my own decisions. It has nothing to do with a man. It just means going by my gut feeling and, taking life by the, for him, collar. Their makeup is the same. They're very simple creatures. And that's a good compliment for you all. I think that there's not much of a difference except for skin color and hair, and maybe their religion is different, but most men all think the same. The last shooting schedule next weekend, so I'm excited that this movie's finally going to be finished, and it's going to be finishing here in Mumbai. I cannot vote. I'm OCI, so that's one of the things I cannot do here, but for all the young people out there, please go register to vote. It's only you guys who can make a change in our world, and that's all I can say. I believe that the people around me will always attempt, and they do a great job at keeping me very safe. And of course, we're not going to go somewhere that we believe might endanger, more than I think myself, but endanger the citizens of that city, which I thought was very sad. I don't know why people would want to hurt their own citizens. In the grand life, I know one. There are other things that are going on, like you can go feed the poor, go help children on the street, give them clothes, feed them, go plant a tree. I'm no one in this world that they need to come after me. They can find something else more positive. I think during Distant 2 we had a couple of issues, but so far so good. I think that the response has been more positive than negative, and just based on numbers from my last movie, everything went very well. As far as my career goes, I don't regret anything that I've done. I believe that everything has led me to today. Everything in my past is a part of what's going on today and my future. This is the most amazing time of my life, and this would not be happening if my past did not exist. So no regrets in the professional department. I want to work with actors that want to work with me. But at the top of my list would be like Amir Khan.
Yes.
In regards to homosexuality, I believe if you're born a certain way and you have feelings towards a man or a woman of the same sex, and that should be your choice, not somebody else. Daniel's the reason that Sunny Leone exists in India. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be here. When I got offered to do the show for Big Boss, he came to me and he said, there's a show in India, it's called Big Boss, they want you to be on it, but it's in India. And I said, what are you talking about? And the only reason I say that is because I went through a bad experience with the Indian community when I first started in adult. And it was only until I was Penthouse Pet of the Year that I became Indian again. So I got a lot of hate mail, I got a lot of people that were not very nice. So I was extremely scared about the idea of coming here. And he just reassured me and said, hold on. Then they ended up sending like a presentation and everything, and they're a very professional company. So he also he allows me to be me, because without him, I don't know who would actually help my career move forward in a positive way, as much as he's been there.
And perceived feminism to be, which is clearly not the case. So it's about busting that myth. That's what Sunny has done on the cover. So a big round of applause for Sunny.
My perception of Bollywood was just what I saw on television with my parents watching movies, which was something larger than life and glamorous and beautiful. I actually didn't know too much about the inner dealings of what goes on here, because I was very ignorant to what was going on outside my world until this came and I started doing research. My perception was, like I mentioned earlier, I was scared to come. I didn't know. I was taking such a huge step into a world I did not know anything about. And then on top of it, being dropped off in a house and saying bye-bye to everything that I knew, or couldn't talk to my family or my parent, my husband or brother. So it's changed a lot. It's been a huge learning curve. I've learned a lot. It hasn't been easy. It's been a very hard struggle. It might seem easy by the world because I've had a lot of amazing things happen, but I've worked hard to get it. My dream role is just to work. As a kuchniya that I want to do one thing or another. I just want to make good films. I want to make films that people are interested in. I don't want to set limits to what that role is, or what I believe that once you set limits in your life, that you're then stuck in a box. So I'm making a movie right now that has action and comedy, and it has all sorts of amazing things that go on. Not allowed to talk about, the other movies that I have in the bag, but they have some comedy, and there's some suspense thrillers in there as well. The movie that I'm working on right now is called Tina and Lolo. It's about two girls on the run. It's a woman-centric film, and why we're on the run, what we're trying to achieve, I'm not allowed to talk about yet because they won't let me. I'm dying to, but hopefully soon there'll be a teaser out, because what I've seen so far looks amazing, something that I've never done before, which is a lot of action. We did like mixed martial arts, boxing. I got to learn how to shoot a gun. It's pretty cool. Not a whole lot. The person I was with was my significant other, so everything just disappeared. I believe I've done everything backwards. Somehow it's worked. I've done everything that I'm not supposed to do. I've done it already. The only thing left is I don't have a baby, so but I have 2 dogs. But I see things differently than other people do. This is my job. This is what I love to do. My body's in good shape. My face is great. My hair is nice. And I love acting. I love being in front of the camera. I love entertaining. This is my job. That's how I see it. I don't think that marriage or having children should be the end all of a woman's career. I know that it might be a cultural thing or a family thing or a personal thing, whichever that reason is for that woman, that she feels that she can't work anymore. It might be that she might be looking forward to that moment of not working anymore. Who knows? But for me, this is my life. I love it. I love what I do, and I hope that it doesn't end just because I'm married or if I have children one day. That it keeps going and I make good movies that people like. Okay, so I don't know what date today is, let alone it was April 1st, April Fool's Day. That stuff doesn't, I don't look at each day and go, oh, today's April Fool's. If I don't want articles today, you're having a baby and you're getting divorced. The baby part I like, the divorce I don't know about. But again, for me, April Fool's wasn't something that I was thinking about, and of course, this is, my husband, my family. I have to protect it. and I lashed out in the way that I did, which is actually quite tame from me writing it, deleting, writing, deleting. What I wanted to write, that's what came out. If I would say I'm a feminist, I believe that a woman should stand up for her own beliefs and rights, whatever they might be. Whether that is, I want to wear purple today or I don't, whatever that right is, I believe that women should stand strong against, as an individual, against anybody that tries to push them down. I'm a woman that definitely, a lot of people try to push me down, and I can tell you this, that I will get right back up and fight my way through, and I believe that everyone. So I don't know if I call myself a feminist, but that's what I believe. No, none of that is true. I saw her last night at the success party, and we had a great time. It ended with big hugs and kisses, and it was a great time. We don't have any issues like that at all. I work a lot, so unfortunately, over the last 3 years, I haven't met a lot of people. One person that I consistently see is actually somebody from the Big Boss house, a couple of people, which is Pooja Baby and Judy. I see Pooja a lot. She lives like 3 minutes away from me. And she's a person in my life that I could call at 3 o'clock in the morning and say I have an issue or don't, or if I have a question, she always answers. But other than that, I have a lot of people that I know. But friendships are built on time, and I haven't been here that long. आप सब मेरे साथ English बोल रहे हो. So what am I gonna do? Daniel को जल्दी पैसा, what is it? आराम से उसको मालूम है. But ऐसे जब हम गाड़ी के बाहर जाते आराम से होता है, सबको ऐसे बोलता है. मैं चाहती हूँ, but देखते हैं क्या होता है. If it happens. ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ. कोई. I think I'm saving lives who don't want to, get any STDs, save those lives from HIV or AIDS, unwanted pregnancies. There's a lot of that goes on, and then those babies have no homes. So I think that I am doing it justice. First of all, I would never use the word hypocrite in an interview. But I think for something like real adult movies, not the A-rated movies that we watch in the movie theaters, that I don't want to be a brand ambassador for any of that material. What people choose to do in their private homes, in their private lives, that's up to them. Whether it becomes legalized in this country or not, that's not for me to say. That's for the government to say. That is for people who want to see it happen here in this country. I'm no one. I work in a country or made those types of material a long time ago, but in a country where it was legal. So it's really up to the government. It's up to whether they want that material to be available to them. That I could not answer in Hindi.